So I started my journey somewhere around the first news of COVID drop. I thought that this would be a perfect opportunity for me to start focusing on this direction with proper sort of directions given by the Crack Global team, whether it's in terms of profiling what I've done so far, in terms of creating a story outline, as well as for interview prep. So Crack Global has been super helpful in getting me to where I am today.
Sandeep, maybe we can get started with you giving us a little bit background about yourself and what do you do and what has been your background till this point.
Yeah, hi, my name is Sandeep, and I'm currently a product marketing manager at Moengage. I did my undergraduation from SRM University in Electronics and Communication Engineering. Post that, I've been working in the startup ecosystem. I'm currently pursuing my ISB PGP Pro program for the Bangalore court.
So, more from the perspective of more from a professional reason, right? Why did you feel that you really needed a formal course in management? Why did you feel the need of looking for something like this?
In the past, I used intuition as a way of doing things, but right now I'm looking at going to all of these classes. I can apply those formal methodologies in the work that I do. So, in that sense, having an engineering background, I lacked the management skills. So that's where, and I looked up, and this program really worked well for me because it goes hand in hand with the work that I do from Monday to Friday, and on Saturdays and Sundays I can focus on getting equipped myself with the management skills.
So, when somebody thinks of an MBA journey, there are a lot of things that come into mind, right? You have to take the GMAT, you have to rewire your entire schedule around, a completely different goal and a target, right? What are the typical challenges you faced, and how did you try to overcome that?
Indeed, it's a very long process, if I may say so. So I started my journey somewhere around the first news of COVID dropped, and that's where, I thought that this would be a perfect opportunity for me to start focusing on this direction. By that time, I had finished almost 4.5 years of work. So that's when I started writing my GRE, and on GRE, I got a score of 321. That's when I started applying for colleges outside of India. But even after getting a few interview calls, I didn't make the cut. So in the year two, I was looking to apply for colleges both outside of India and in India. And in the first round of application cycles was for the ISB PGP Pro. And when I had applied, I thought, okay, let's see if I can do this or not. So but with proper sort of directions given by the Crack Global team, whether it's in terms of profiling what I've done so far, in terms of creating a story outline, as well as for interview prep. So Crack Global has been super helpful in getting me to where I am today.
Another question when you were talking about this, right? So you mentioned you evaluated full-time courses, and then you also looked at PGP Pro. What is the kind of research that went behind finalizing, okay, PGP Pro is the right school for you?
So there's a lot of parameters in terms of finalizing which school to go after. So I looked at FT rankings as well as the average GRE scores, both from someone who's native to that particular country as well as someone who's coming from internationally per se. I spoke to a couple of my folks in my network who are already doing their PGP Pro course in whether it's Mumbai or whether it's Hyderabad. So they all echoed the same thing. The level of discussions which happen in a PGP Pro is much higher compared to when someone is starting off without any experience. There's a lot that everyone in the room brings to the table and makes the conversation very engaging. So in that sense, after having done close to 6.5, 7 years of work experience, I thought being in the same room with experienced leaders who are all coming in with the same goal, who have got a lot to add to the conversation taught by professors. So that is something I really look forward, and and once I got the news, I was really happy about it.
One question, and this is something that most people have right now, an executive program from a school like ISB, or top school like ISB, is, maybe as expensive as going for a full-time program. Did you and this is always a confusion that most people have, and especially people with the kind of work experience you have, right? Where you're already doing great in your career progression is awesome, but still you want to, you know, take that step to upskill, to enable yourself for the next 20 years of your life, right? Did you have that confusion, and what was the thing that you validated in your mind to make sure that, okay, this is something that I would like to go for, like an executive program? What was it that in your mind? And also, did you kind of eliminate a few options that you could have based on some criterias that you had in mind? Was there something that you went through in this process?
To answer this question, I would say that my bosses at my current work as well as colleagues were super supporting when I told them that I'm going to do an MBA program right from the start, when I had let them know regarding my letters of recommendations. They were super helpful across the board, right from the top management to my day in, day out colleagues. So everyone was super helpful. And coming back to your question, whether ISB is an expensive affair or not, it definitely is. But I got a scholarship from ISB, based on my profile. So that really helped seal the deal in terms of me, taking up this program. And if I look at it holistically, it was almost the same number of contact hours as the average ISB PGP program. ISB PGP is spread out across 12 months, whereas ISB PGP Pro is for 18 months, and you get a chance to do your international immersion, which I'm scheduled to go in for in the March of next year. So support from colleagues, support from parents, as well as support from the college in terms of the scholarship. So all those three really helped me, finalize and zero in on this course.
Is there like a what you want to achieve out of the course thing already outlined, or are you like, I'll figure it out throughout the process? Because you also have the flexibility to implement what you learn at workplace, since it's a weekend program, right? So how does that work, and what have you kind of thought through in your mind?
So I definitely would like to, be in marketing per se. So this is something that I really like. So climbing up the hierarchy is definitely the way to go forward. In terms of, so we had management of organizations course in our first term. So that essentially is helping me in terms of identify what are the right practices and ways to go about setting expectations within the team. That course has been super helpful. In the next term going forward, we're going to have marketing management, and the courses starting aligning with that. So for that, I'm really excited.
And how is the mix of the cohort, more from an experience perspective or industry mix perspective? How is that? How's the class?
I would say the average age of the cohort is somewhere around 30 to 33 years of experience, and they come from very diverse backgrounds, whether it's consulting, finance, tech, marketing, business operations, sales. So we've got varied spectrum, not even in just startups, not even in digital native, but your traditional companies as well. So it gives very varied perspectives that come onto the table during the discussion, whether it's crisis management, how particular one of my batchmate dealt with it during his time at the course. So that was really good to know, as well as we have got batchmates who are from Navy with 20 years work experience, and how they used to conduct sorties during a turbulent time, or of a situation where they needed to go for the best viable option rather than considering what used to be the norm. So these kind of varied experiences help me take a step back and evaluated what needs to be done.
Any words of wisdom on how somebody who is similar to at your stage, planning for a full-time program and have a very clear backup plan and be very confident about those plans also. Any words of wisdom from your end, more from that perspective?
I would say, like, sometimes it can get very daunting. You're thinking to yourself, is it really worth it? But having someone like Arun sir, or like the whole Crack Verbal team, whether it's Sandeep or Crystal, in terms of helping me out, so that was really super helpful. uh, I were to say, like, Monday to Friday I was working, right? So the work pressures for those days come in. But the team was really available over the weekends to help me draft my essays, to help me perfect the storyline that I wanted to commit. So if anyone is looking for, consultants and experts, I would definitely recommend Crack Bubble on this front.
Thank you so much, Sandeep, and this means so much to me. And I'm so glad that you chose us to be part of your journey, and I'm really, really thankful for that. All the best for your next step. All the best for your, and I'm sure you'll do awesome. And I'm waiting to see what great things you're going to do after this. So excited, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me time on a, working day, and really, really, really appreciate it.